an object that's speeding toward our sun that some scientists say might be alien technology. So I emailed one of the world's most famous astrophysicists, and I learned that what's most interesting here is that while it's only the third object we've ever seen come from another star into our solar system, it's special because it's way bigger than the others. And it looks like it came from a much older part of our galaxy, which means it could be way older than anything in our solar system. And weirdly, it's got this very different chemical composition than what we're used to. So, aliens? There's no significant evidence of aliens. The object is clearly a comet. So if it's not aliens, why care? Because it's basically a message in a bottle from another star. And no, it won't hit us. But there are nearby asteroids that might. So to find out how we protect our...
I think it's wonderful that we've got photographs from the rovers on the surface of Mars. That is...
Which doesn't look like much there, to be fair, does it?
You think about what that is. That's a photograph from a robot on the surface of Mars that looked up at the sky and saw that, which we now know is something from another solar system. And there's an estimate a couple of days ago that it might have formed 7.5 billion years ago, that thing. So it was made before the Earth and the Sun had formed out of a cloud of dust. And it's been on its journey across the Milky Way galaxy. And the thing I find remarkable, it's part of the tour really, it's only 400 years that we were arguing about whether the Earth went around the Sun. It's only 400 or 500 years ago. Now we've sent spacecraft to the planets that Kepler and others were seeing move in the sky, and we're taking photographs of interstellar comets from the surface of other planets.
Atlas hit the Earth? Well, the answer is no. It will pass safely at around 270 million kilometers away from us. And lots of people are also saying it's an alien ship. NASA hasn't confirmed anything like that, but they did notice some strange thing. The comet's color keeps changing, and it's showing movement that doesn't match the normal gravity. Scientists are still studying it, but right now, no one really knows what the 3I Atlas comet actually is.
We've got a big update, a huge update on our favorite interstellar object. It could be the biggest update in the solar system. Take a look at this. This is 3I Atlas. You know how the last time we talked about it, it went behind the sun, then it got brighter, then it got bluer, then it started to go faster, non-gravitational acceleration? Well, guess what? We just got new images of it, and to add some more strangeness to the 3I Atlas saga, because, like, I don't want to overhype this, but yeah, you see, that's a comet. It does not have a very big, very noticeable cometary tail. That's what we were thinking we were going to see. So let's get straight over to Harvard astronomer, Professor Avi Loeb, the world-renowned expert on all these things, all things interstellar. Professor, the last time we spoke, which was like the day before yesterday, you were saying that when it went behind the sun, the natural explanation for the non-gravitational acceleration and the thrust might be because it burned off a bunch of chemicals or something, and that was giving it the thrust to the tune of like 13%, and we would see a humongous tail maybe. What is going on?
Yeah, that's very surprising because there should have been a very massive cloud of gas and dust around it based on what we know about comets. In fact, we see other comets in the solar system that have a beautiful tail away from the sun behind them. Lemon is an excellent example. But in our case of 3I Atlas, it looks like a fuzzy ball of light. Even after it passed through perihelion, it was heated by 770 watts per square meter. And we know that the previous plume of gas was mostly carbon dioxide. And carbon dioxide ices can sublimate at a much lower temperature than water ice. So we should have seen it break up, or at the very least disintegrate to a very dense and massive cloud of gas and dust that is pushed away from the sun by the solar radiation and the solar wind. But we don't see that. So the question is, what's going on? One possibility is that what evaporates from it are fragments of ice, and they get vaporized by sunlight before they have a chance to turn around and show up as a plume of glow behind it, away from the sun. That's one possible interpretation, but otherwise I just don't know what to make of it. There was also a blue color that was noticed just a few days ago, and also in addition to that, it became brighter by a factor of 5. So what I'm saying is, you know, there are things we don't fully understand about this object. That's what makes it exciting, and I think all of us will wait for the data that will come in the coming weeks, and especially on December 19th, when it comes closest to Earth. That's 6 days before Christmas, and let's hope we don't get unwanted gifts for our holidays.
Or at least maybe those gifts will be nice and friendly and wonderful and help us figure the universe out. We'll see. Avi, you do not seem surprised here. I know that we've been asking you about this, and we were all expecting to see a tail, and we asked you for a natural, plausible explanation. You gave us that one, and now we're seeing no tail. Like, what do you think it is?
I don't know. I think... it's like a blind date with an interstellar object that came from an environment that is alien to us. And I think the key question is whether it's natural or technological. The secondary question, if it's natural, what kind of an environment did it come from? It must be a common environment that produces large packages delivered to our mailbox. And we just need to find out the sender. Either way, it's thrilling, and it's really the reason why science is worthwhile doing, because we can gain new knowledge, and that goes against the tendency of experts to pretend to be the adults in the room that know the answer in advance. Well, guess what? This object is telling the experts, think twice.
Well, unlike 3i Atlas, this tale is far from over, and we will be dialing you up every twist and turn. Avi Loeb, always a pleasure to see you and to talk to you, and we can't wait to see what happens next. Thanks so very much.